It'd be your own thoughts about other people's thoughts that haven't even left their mouths. And that's what stops you.
I like that.
It's like, oh, nobody's going to like this thing that I do. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
You didn't even give people an opportunity to tell you it sucked. Like the hate's not real. It's all in your head.
And on top of that, even if they tell you it sucked, who cares? It wasn't for them. It's for you.
And we're recording once again. Good morning, Ken. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Fenton. I'm doing amazing. Yourself, sir?
I'm doing amazing as well. It's a beautiful sunny day. Oh, no, it's raining, but it's still beautiful in my heart.
Yes, it is.
Ken, why?
You need the rainy days. You need the rainy days as well. I enjoy the rainy days because they wash away all the dirt and oil off the road. You know, they feed the plants. They wash your car for free. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, hold on a second. I'm slow.
No, you're not on my end. You're good to go.
Yeah?
Yeah, it looks normal, man.
Okay,
yeah.
Sweet, great. All right, here we go. All right, so
this is just black beauty right there.
Black excellence. Let's go. All right, everybody, welcome to Products of Circumstance, the podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. Here we discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. We cover topics like family and relationship trauma, relationships with money, self-worth, positive thinking, gratefulness, and so much more. The show is unscripted, it's unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly, and Ken is going to let us know what we're going to talk about in a minute. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified when we share new videos. And most importantly, please share with somebody that you know that's going on their own personal development journey. Okay, that's out of the way. Ken, what are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna do because we just ended the year, right? Mm-hmm. So let's the subject will be reflection.
Oh,
just reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your family, maybe your career, your health. Maybe just reflection. It may sound corny and redundant, but it's true. You should reflect. And I'm not doing the whole new year, new me. Stop with that. Everyone's at the gym. The gym memberships increase in January and everyone stops going by March. I'm not talking about that kind of reflection. Just in general, though, it is a new year. It is a new number to write on your checks or your books. That 2-3. Everyone's got to remember to put the 2-3 at the end now. But no, look, reflection is good. You should be doing it on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever it may be, especially if you're on your journey, your path. Again, come back to journaling, which I was able to journal right before we got on here.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was writing about my own personal stuff. So
none your business.
None your business. My business. No, you know what I do at the end of every one of my journals. There's 3 things I put. The last 3 lines. And the last 3 lines are, I am grateful for my health, I am grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for my abundance. Those are the last 3 things I put. I just started doing that actually maybe a week ago as the last 3 things. Not in that order. It's usually family, health, abundance. And the reason I end with being grateful for that is those really are the 3 things I'm grateful for. And when I say family, I consider very close friends family. Fenton, you're one of those people. Sometimes water is thicker than blood. So I know people like say blood's thicker than. Stop it. There's sometimes very, very close friends in your life that are there for you more than your own blood family. So I consider you, when I say family, you're considered in that.
You know what it is.
So much abundance and much health for you as well, sir, and everyone else out there. You know who you are. But
brother.
So I do reflect on a daily basis, but just say, we wrapped up the year. I did start working out a new routine. I was working out maybe 3 days a week. I've been going straight now 5 days. I'm on that elliptical in the morning. No excuses. I don't drink a lot, but I'll have wine or scotch once in a while. I'm doing a 30-day cleanse just to fix my chakras, as my wife says. And just I'm calming down with social media. I just want to rebalance my brain,
Right.
and just do good for me. I want to recenter myself, and in order to recenter myself, I feel that I'm more working out, eating healthier, and just less social media itself, because that can really just push you into this sleepy, out of reality mode, because you're looking at other people's joy or pain, and that's your excitement, and that shouldn't be the excitement. It should be the moment you're in, the family around you, the friends around you. Listen, we had a couple losses in the family towards the end of the year, but I know it's easier said than done, but you must celebrate their lives. So that's been going on as well. But yeah, that's why I feel like the topic of reflection is an important one for the kickoff of the year for us.
As I reflect on what you just said, you know what? The last thing you said was important. It's people passing away. Like, I think a lot of times it can be easy to forget, like, people that were lost. Now I have, kind of a unique perspective, because like I got all my family members, what I'm saying? Like, my parents are both still alive, and, all my brothers and everything. And I didn't lose, I think my dad lost a brother, but it was an uncle that I didn't even really know. I think he was in like the UK or something like that. Like, I don't know if I ever met him before in my life. But let it suffice to say, it is very important to look back over the year. As you start the year, look back over 22 and be like, what happened? What if you're like, a lot of people, you're probably shell shocked, 2022. And it's like, what just happened to me? And I'm not a big new year, new me person at all. But I do think it would be helpful for people to take inventory, because as we reflect on what happened to us, we can kind of figure out like how we've been dealing with that, coping with that, responding to that. Are you going into this new year struggling to find direction, struggling to make progress on things that you want to do? Why? Why do you feel stuck, maybe? Like, why do you lack direction? So it probably has something to do with, I don't know, your past, the past 12 months. It's like, we know a lot of stuff that we're dealing with right now. It's like, it's rooted in our past. Like, well, it could be the past 12 months. So like for me, I randomly one night was looking at my accounting software, and I didn't think that I had like a great year. And then I was like, oh my God, like, no, I actually really did have a great year. Like, December, I just wasn't paying attention the whole year at like how I was tracking. And I was like, oh no, things actually went really well. I was like, praise God, that's awesome. And so we can be out of touch with the reality of what's actually been happening in the past 12 months. And that certainly was the case for me as far as like my accounting was concerned. Now, as far as the rest of my life, I guess, like, I don't know, Ken, let's go down the list. I'm still happily married.
Check.
My kid is amazing. And, she's in school. She's doing great. We're thinking about putting her in like a different school, and we're trying to figure that stuff out. So as she's growing, we're growing as parents, and that's wonderful. Business is good. Music stuff is really cool. I'm trying to get more involved in like my business end of my music career, so that I can really maximize, revenue and opportunities. Podcasting has been really cool, doing that for the past couple of months with you. That's been a huge change and a huge shift. Something that after I blurted out to you, like, oh, I'll do a podcast with you. I was like, wow, like, I didn't have time like to do it. But like all things, I proved to myself that if I'm committed and I show up on a regular basis and put in the work, like, yeah, I can get done. You prioritize, what you want to do. And so that was a big thing for me in 22, was adding this onto my plate and completely not being overwhelmed, because I made room for it and I pushed other things away. All right. Which leads me to the next thing is I trimmed a lot of fat in 2022. I was a huge networker. I still am, but I got out of networking groups. Those were taking up a lot of time and were great people and stuff, but I looked at the ROI and I looked at the things that I wanted to do and that potential ROI. And I was like, I have to replace that with other things. So I got rid of all the networking groups. I stopped paying money for them and giving them my time and energy. And now I'm like really happy just doing things that I like to do. And so 2022 was a great year for me because I got into a space where I'm happy doing what I want to do. I got the right website clients for my business and stopped working with people that I didn't want to work with, which meant like taking more time to think about who I did want to work with and being intentional about positioning myself in front of those people and saying, hey, I'm over here, which helped my marketing and my branding because I had to be very strategic about how I presented myself. And yeah, actually, as I'm reflecting, I was way more intentional last year about how I wanted to be viewed.
Okay.
Like I kind of stopped caring about what other people thought about me, which was a big deal because at 41, I just kind of came into that. Like I knew that I had to let go of other people's opinions and stuff. And I was writing about this on Instagram. I don't know if you saw.
Yes, I did. I pay attention, actually.
Yeah, I've been beating people over the head. One of my friends messaged me and he was like, yo, who's got you mad? I said, I am just sharing motivation for anyone who needs to hear it.
That's how I took it though. When I saw that, I sorry to cut you.
No, you
when you were putting that up, I just saw it as motivation and like you were spreading the knowledge because some people need to see that or hear it maybe just in one part of the day and they could kind of take them down a different path just by seeing or hearing that.
Right.
Different motivational quotes or a pitch, sometimes just a picture. But no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't get it as someone had you feeling another way. I got it as you were just sharing the wealth.
I'm glad that you picked up on that. And I'm looking at my phone to read like, these are some things that stuck out to me. And I just shared it with everybody else. I wrote, people lust after titles, but have no passion for the work. And I thought about myself because I was recently voted as the president for this alumni council for a nonprofit that I'm a part of, right? And I'm going to be taking on that position and also a position as like a board member, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. For a nationwide nonprofit. It's kind of a big deal. It's a big organization. And I never wanted to be a board member. I never wanted to be president of anything. Like, I'm not interested in titles. But everybody kept saying, like, Fenton, you should do it. You should do it. And I'm like, why? Is it because you're already doing the work?
Okay.
I'm passionate about doing the work. And the next thing I wrote was, you are what you do. So if you do nothing, you're a nobody. And so
that was recent.
Yeah, this is like yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Okay. I read that yesterday.
Yeah, so like if you, I always say, do what you want to be.
Okay.
You are what you do. So if you want to be in shape, then eat right and work out and you'll be in shape. Let's say if you wanted to be a basketball player, then go play basketball every single day from morning till night and practice and practice and practice, and you'll become a basketball player. If you want to be a saxophone player, go pick up a saxophone and play, right? You are what you do. So the titles will come and everything that comes along with the titles will come if you just do the work. And so that was something, that stuck out to me. But that came out of my own experiences in 2022, was just putting in the work. I don't call myself a podcaster. I'm just a guy who shows up on Thursdays and records a podcast consistently. So I guess I'm a podcaster, I guess. And the other thing I wrote was stop letting the opinions of others stop you in your tracks. Do it anyway. People will tell themselves that other people won't like it. It'd be your own thoughts about other people's thoughts that never left their mouths that stop you. That is crazy.
Read that again.
Sorry, I just closed my thing. But I basically said it'd be your own thoughts about other people's thoughts that haven't even left their mouths. And that's what stops you.
I like that.
It's like, oh, nobody's going to like this thing that I do. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
You didn't even give people an opportunity to tell you it sucked. Like the hate's not real. It's all in your head.
And on top of that, even if they tell you it sucked, who cares? It wasn't for them. It's for you. You know what? Let me stop. Easier said than done. It takes
100%.
It takes time. It takes practice. We grow up in a society. I don't care what part of the world you're listening from. It takes time and practice to learn to not care what people think. And if you can do it when you're in your 20s, good for you. I mean, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize this until they're in their late 40s, 50s, 60s. Sometimes, 70s, they realize it doesn't even matter what someone thinks. Because guess what? They're not even thinking about you. They're not. You are the hero in your own story. You're not in someone else's. So most of the time, people aren't even thinking about you. I'm sorry to say it. You're not that important to someone else's life when it comes to their journey. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm not saying you're not important to your spouse or to your family or to your children, to your parents. No. When it comes to their journey, they're thinking about themselves and how they're going to reflect and how they're going to progress and how they're going to succeed. Stop thinking that they're not thinking about you all the time.
I'm so glad you said that, man. You got to put yourself in other people's shoes on a daily. How often do you think during the course of somebody else's day that you pop into their mind? You know what I'm saying? And we're talking from the small things to the big things. If somebody doesn't text you back, why are you so mad? Why are you taking it so personal? They're not thinking about you. They got things they got to do. You know what I'm saying? If my wife didn't text me back all day long, all right, I might take that personal. She married me. I'm her husband and we have a child together and we're responsible for each other. Like, yeah, you should probably text me back. At least let me know you're okay. Find out if I'm okay. How's our child doing? Like, sure. Some third, fourth string relationship that you have. Even Ken, if you didn't text me back all day long, I ain't beefing with you. I'm going to assume that you got stuff going on with your family and with work, and that just is what it is. It's fine.
That does happen with us anyway.
It does.
And I've seen that this morning you did it. I think you texted like, oh, yeah, sorry it took 7 hours to get back to you. And I'm like, okay, I was like, about what?
Yesterday, I was like, I'll follow up in a bit. And then I texted you this morning. I was like, this is me following up in a bit.
Yeah. I laughed, actually. I woke up to that. I was like, oh, that's funny.
So it doesn't matter. So reflecting again back over the year, that was a big thing for me. It's like, yo, I don't care. Jay-Z had a interview or something where he was talking about how he shows up in every room the same. He don't change his voice. He don't change the way he dressed, the way he walks, change his talk. Oh man, if that stuff didn't punch you in the gut, especially as Black people, you know what I'm saying? Because we do the code switching.
Yeah. Is it called code switching? Is there another name for it?
There's another name, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, there's another name for it. It doesn't matter, but yeah.
Yeah, we call it code switching. It's like, I grew up in working in a corporate environment, and I can tell you for a fact that there were white people who I was the first Black person that they'd ever interacted with in an intimate way, where it's like, we go to work together every single day and we talk every single day. Like literally, I've had people tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the first Black person I ever really talked to like that. And I grew up on Long Island in New York, and my point is that for a long time, I believed that I had to be a certain way in my corporate world with my shirt and tie and everything. and speak a certain way in order to be respected, as, let's just call it what it is, like as an acceptable Black person. That's just what it is. Like, let's please just call it what it is. You got Black people that white people are cool with because they're not afraid of you and they don't think that you're going to rob them. And then you got the ones that they're like locking their doors. Now, the funny part is, and we all know this to be true, you could be the acceptable Black man, the non-scary, non-threatening Black man on 9 to 5. And I'm telling you, them same white people, if you walk past them in the middle of the night,
they're clutching that purse.
Not looking away, looking down at the ground, looking up, locking the car doors. Like, all that stuff is true. It just is what it is. So the question like begs itself. We're still dealing with reflection here, because this is a part of my personal journey over 2022. It's like, if that being the case, then what am I doing this for? Why am I showing up any different in certain spaces where there's certain people? What's the difference? If you're going to treat me this way anyway, because we're in these four walls, now I'm different? That's crazy. And I realized how crazy it was. And I thank God for Jay-Z. He's one of my favorite, rappers of all time. But, moreover, as a business person, seeing, people in hip hop grow up, you go from their 20s to their 30s, 40s, and even 50s and become business people, proper business people, and still just be true to who they are. Like, it's exhausting trying to be different people and show up different ways and placate people and make sure that you don't offend anybody with your Blackness. Like, that's exhausting. That's that W.E.B. Du Bois, you know what I'm saying? Like, duality, you know what I'm saying, of the Black man. Like, that stuff is just exhausting. I'm over it. I'm tired of it, bro. Like, if you don't like my bros, if you don't like my nah-means and my what's-ups, if you don't like my Yankee fitted, if you, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like it, that's too bad. But I'll tell you what, I started showing up as myself. And there's two things I have to say to this, and then I started showing up as myself, and it's not only respected, it's not only appreciated, it's admired, because we live in a world where people don't show up as themselves so frequently. It's so ingrained in them to put on this other face and this other persona that when they see people who are just themselves, it's refreshing. It's like, man, I wish I could be that free, And the other thing, there's another side to that, Ken, which is that we're not monoliths. We're not just like, I grew up in Long Island in the suburbs. I was born in the 80s, listening to hip hop, also listening to classical and jazz and pop. I was just as much a Phil Collins fan as I was a Fat Joe fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just as much a fan of Enya as I was Eminem. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Exactly. All my white people know who Enya is, which is ironic.
I grew up with calypso, soca, and reggae, man.
Which is, it's me too.
My parents are from Belize, bro.
You Belize? We Trinidad and Tobago. My parents are from
Belize. We grew up with soca and calypso. I don't know who Enya is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to research that. I'm sorry to sound ignorant right now. I don't feel Collins.
Okay. But we have so many different. There's so many different aspects of us and facets and sides to us as people that it's ridiculous on its face. It is ridiculous to expect that, you should show up one way in one situation and a different way in another situation. It's like, let me just be me, all of me. And that's what I decided to do in 2022, is to just be me in all of my different shapes and forms, and still just being Fenton. And I'm so much happier, that way. I'm so much happier, bro. Like, I still have ties in my drawer, and I wear them to church, But generally speaking, like I'm not putting on ties anymore. I just got some new fitteds, with my company logo. I wear my own clothes, and I just let my personality shine. I'm just really happy being me everywhere that I go. And I would say to people, look back over the past year and reflect and ask yourself, like, if you really showed up as yourself, and do you think that you should change that? And if you do think that, then work towards it. If you don't, and you find the way that you showed up and you thought that was you, then okay. But if your gut tells you, I stop playing myself, stop kowtowing, and
make sure it's not the White Castle. Let me stop. We can't get sued for that, right?
Don't. It's not. I would say, like, I just put, if the shoe fits, wear it. If somebody gets triggered, that's on you. It says more about you than it does about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm leaving these little word grenades in the backyard, and if it blows up in your hand, you pulled the pin, not me. I absolve myself of the responsibility of your guilt or your shame or whatever else. Read the fine print.
All right, so look, people, thank you for joining us. But definitely, before I see Fenton going somewhere right now.
So that's it. You done?
Take time for a sec, and no, it's not corny to do this. Please, I don't care how hard you think you are. Just for a second, just sit down, write down something. You don't have to write. Just reflect for a sec. Are you a place in your life that you want to be? Like, where you want to be? And if not, what will it take for you to get there? And if you are somewhere you want to be, what's the next goal you're going to set for yourself? So you should always be reflecting on a daily basis. But yes, it's the start of a new year. So there was a topic that I felt we should speak of, because people are in the middle of it right now. Some of it's going to be hard. Some of it's going to be fun. But it's life, and life's going to kick you in the teeth once in a while. You still got to smile, though. You got to put that smile on, though. And just be positive. And again, I've had my moments, especially in the last few months, where I couldn't smile, but I knew I had to wake up and get through my day because I got my kids looking at me. Is daddy all right? Because we're gonna feed off his emotion, and if daddy looks sad, then something must be wrong. Wow. But you gotta wake up every day and just know that someone wishes they had your problems. I say this to my children a lot and to my friends and family. Remember that someone wishes they had your problems. But Ken, Fenton, I have no job right now. My bills are due. They took my car. And well, there's countries where people are being bombed on a daily basis. So someone wishes they had your problems. Just remember that. Just again, try to remember to reflect. Send out positivity. You'll get it back tenfold. You really will. You gotta trust the process also. Right? Trust your process. Again, do things with passion, do things with love. It'll come back to you. All right. Just keep your eyes open, keep your heart open. So I gotta say, though.
I feel like that should be how you sign off. Like, and remember, someone wishes they had your problems. So good. Hey, everybody, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please share with somebody on their personal development journey. And remember, someone wishes they had your problems.
Oh, man.
Deuces.